Right now is the best time to play Guilty Gear Strive. Sorry, I got a bit excited. But the point still stands. Guilty Gear Strive is in a better position than it's ever been, and by a huge margin. From the implementation of an actual functioning ranked mode, new character releases, and critical balance changes on the way, the game is heading in an extremely positive direction. So if you haven't played in a while or have been on the verge of buying, you're in the right place. Because by the end of this video, I will convince you to start playing. Alright, so one huge draw to Guilty Gear Strive right now is definitely the player count. Being among one of the most active in the genre, and constantly making moves to draw in new players, the game is one of the best new player experiences on the market. The addition of Rank to the game from last season was an absolute hit, completely revamping the experience of learning the game through online matches and making it easier to understand where you play skill-wise. A lot better than the tower system, which used to be the only quote-unquote serious way to get a gauge of your progression. And with so many new and veteran players actively on the mode as well, it's not hard to find a match in basically no time at all, regardless of ranking. But don't worry, if jumping straight into online matches isn't your thing, it's far from the only way that you can go about learning how to play. Guilty Gear Strive still has one of the best tutorials on the market, and is updated regularly. That alongside other offline casual modes, new updates coming to the training mode, and a very underrated 3v3 game mode that you can play with friends. It turns out getting your face bashed in non-stop while grinding ranked until you eventually learn isn't the only avenue of improvement. But we do have to address the face bashing elephant in the room, who you will definitely be encountering soon enough. Jam Kuradoberi, one of the most anticipated characters of Strive's lifetime. She took the community by storm when she was announced. Known in past titles for her brutal constant rushdown and high damage stylish combos, she was one of the most popular characters in the franchise, particularly for newer players. With a brand new fresh design and new visuals on her iconic moves, you just know that everybody and their mother is going to be LARPing like their day one Jam mains. And that does in fact include me. This is definitely going to be one of the most impactful character releases for Strive in a long time. And from a player count perspective, we can definitely expect an influx of new and returning players coming in on the night. But don't just take it from me though. Listen to how excited even the Arc System channel's narrator sounds, recording the Jam Beginner Guide.
Jam is an infighter with tumultuous offense. Close the distance in a flash and overwhelm the opponent with her varied mix-up.
And compare that to the second most recent character guide.
Lucy excels at neutral. Unleash a complex offense by applying debuffs with her hacking skills.
See, the streets are craving this character release. Side note, but the comments to this video were absolutely frying me. Like, there's gotta be some secret lore to this man. But Jam is far from the only thing that you can expect to be added in the game. One thing that this game has been missing for far too long is none other than...
Wow.
Character customization. Gone are the days of tirelessly searching for mods to better express yourself while playing online, only for your opponent to see you as standard Bridget number 1367. Now you can be standard Bridget 1668 with a new pair of shoes. No, but jokes aside, character customization is a warranted feature that is somehow still missing from an alarming amount of bigger titles, despite the clear demand for it. And if you think this isn't a big deal in Guilty Gear, you really don't have to look any deeper than the whole Twitter Jam release situation that unfolded like a week ago. And if you don't know about it, don't worry, I made an entire video explaining what went on, and you can definitely watch that after this video. But long story short, Jam had one outfit, they changed the outfit, and riots ensued. But now with the addition of this mechanic, it opens up the door for so many possibilities of expression. I'm personally hoping there's a legacy option for outfits similar to Exard, because they had some straight bangers. And while it'd be cool if they added some of those costumes, we have to address what ArcSys is going to be removing before we get too ahead of ourselves. This removal has literally got the entire Guilty Gear community celebrating for about 2 weeks straight. The removal of a mechanic that has actually been compared to the Guilty Gear equivalent of Prime King Vaughn on Twitter. No, I'm not even joking. I'm of course talking about the removal of Wild Assault. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Wild Assault was a mechanic that basically spit in the face of fighting game fundamentals, and then gave it a swirly for good measure. It worked as a complete neutral skipping option to keep up pressure, removing entire layers of skill expression and complexity. And I think the only people who actually supported this change being implemented were Axolo players. Not because it benefited their character at all, it was actually the complete opposite, but because it negatively impacted the player base's collective happiness. I don't think I've ever seen a new mechanic be so unanimously criticized by a community until this change came out. Like, there was almost no discourse on whether or not it was good, but after literally 3 straight years of complaining, the community was finally able to get their wish. April 9th, 2026, Wild Assault will be officially removed from Guilty Gear. And I think the crowd reaction of the announcement can speak for itself here.
In version 2.0, actually the Wild Assault mechanic will be removed. 와일드 어설트는 삭제가 됩니다.
I take this as a direct buff to my gameplay because I literally never utilized this mechanic intentionally. Like, not even once. It was always a misinput every single time. But the biggest buff to everybody's gameplay is right on the horizon. That is the removal of Axolo from the game. That's the long-needed gutting of Happy Chaos. If you're new, this won't really matter too much to you, but if you're coming back to the game, they did it. They finally did it. Okay, I'll be honest, I'm probably jumping the gun here and counting my chickens before they spill the milk, but from what was shown, so far, it's looking pretty good. Okay, I'll keep this brief. Happy Chaos was one of those characters that feel like they were balanced by the Riot Games dev team. Massively overpowered and nerfed consistently over the course of years with basically no change. With the showcase of 2.0 though, it was stated that his entire kit would essentially be receiving a rework and key parts of his character would be changed. One of the most crucial of which we've seen so far being that you can now block one of his previously unblockable moves, which was essential for his gameplay. So far so good. Him being changed so drastically is actually extremely significant because this single character was the direct cause of so many people just straight up dropping the game entirely. Like, it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. But with such a drastic shakeup of the meta, now's definitely an exciting time to see what character might be the next one to dethrone him for the #1 spot. Probably not your main though. Everybody else being played is broken, but your main, bottom tier. You know who doesn't get to use that age-old excuse now though? Leo White Fang players. Yeah, you have the spotlight now. Jokes aside, this has to be one of the coolest and most significant changes coming up to Guilty Gear Strive in its entire lifetime. The addition of new moves for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Wait, no, I went too far, it's 5. But yeah, 5 new moves coming to some of the most popular characters in the Guilty Gear cast, completely changing up possible combo routes, interactions, and matchups. The meta is definitely about to receive a huge exciting shift. And not only that, but there's just a straight up hype factor to be accounted for. Like, literally look how cool this move looks. It's almost enough to convince me to play Nagoriyuki. Almost. But there's still some points of contention that may still be holding you back. Like the lifespan of the game possibly nearing its end. Guilty Gear was released way back in 2021. This is important because the average lifespan of mainline fighting games usually spans between like 3 to 5 years. That coupled with the fact that this season compared to the last, less characters are planned for release throughout the year, one can see this as sort of an off-ramp of production and a soft sign that the game is slowly coming to an end of its support. But I would argue that Guilty Gear definitely has more than enough support from the devs and community alike to stand the test of time for a long time. The PR from their upcoming update has been something to be studied by other fighting games, being met with widespread appeal and coverage. Come April 9th, you can definitely expect to see a surge in player count. And with so many eyes on the game right now, it'd probably be a pretty good time to start making content around Guilty Gear. If only somebody made a video about that. Oh wait, I did. Check out the video on the right if you want to see why you should be making content around fighting games, especially so for the beginners.